Hey everyone, welcome back to more Dune Spice Wars, playing as the dastardly Harkonnen. So this will be the very end of this campaign. I actually accidentally finished it last night when I was playing around. I wanted to get it like really close and then go ahead and come back and finish it, but I bought a few more Chom shares and that was just enough to kind of bump me up, apparently. It should have only been a 1% jump, but it jumped me all the way up to 50%. So that's how we're winning in this one. So there's multiple ways you can win, and when anyone is close, you get these windows over here that kind of give you indications. So we'll kind of do a quick rundown on how things are going. This is actually pretty soon after the last video that I recorded, not a huge difference in time. So as you can kind of see, we're at 48% of the Chom shares, 50%, and you win because you have at least half of all of the Chom shares out in the universe. The Atreides still buying a lot. They are doing okay, but they've been in this constant war with a cause over here, so I'm not really sure how extensive. Looks like that's all they've got. Now, they had some other territories here that were lost. A cause still has been holding on to this. We are the red faction here because we're, the evil Harkonnen. So what's been going on? As far as research goes, we've done a lot of research that's going to help us buy shares, improve the economy, that kind of thing. Down over here at our base in Carthag, we've done even more upgrades to improve the economy. Basically, cash comes in, that cash goes to buy Chom shares. We've been able to do pretty well at that. Last time I was getting ready to try to take this territory away from House Carino, the Emperor's house, because they have been kind of messing with me for a while. I mean, they kind of suddenly declared war on me. They dropped this base next to me. We destroyed that. I did pillage this territory, then couldn't attack this place for a while, at least not to take it over. So I was kind of sitting around waiting and wanted more cash, so I just went ahead and grabbed this one because it has rare elements, which lets me get additional cash coming in. It's also a special territory, so I get an extra hegemony bonus. So that helped me kind of pull ahead of a cause here in the hegemony race. 30,000 hegemony you win as well. So that was just something to kind of keep in mind. So I finally had enough authority that I could take this one on, so moved in, and we're now in the process of capturing this territory, just for more spice, because spice equals cash. So that's kind of a nice way to think about how we're progressing. Then, if things had continued, there's another high hegemony position here. Once I had enough authority, we could jump on this and take this from these renegades. Or we could just destroy House Carino, but that doesn't really get me anything. Currently, my overlord is here sort of keeping all of these other troops occupied and fighting them off from kind of coming over to reinforce. Not that they could stop this army. We also have a little army here. We've got a little army here. We've got my flyer hanging out up there as well. So yeah, I've got an assassin hanging out near my base just because stuff occasionally drops in this area, like mystery things, and we can go send a military unit out to grab them. Actually, this is probably the strongest economy I've had playing this, which is kind of interesting. I think it mainly has to do just with what I've built and the order and the fact that I didn't build up too early on. And then we got pretty lucky in our resources and stuff that we grabbed. So I'm not sure if it's going to show. Let's see. Yeah, it's gone. So we do have some things here that were up. So I did have to spend a lot of political capital doing something here to stop me from being able to not be able to win the game from Chom shares. This popped up for a vote. So this is economic investigation. 20% of everyone's Chom shares are lost, and you can't buy Chom shares for the month. So considering that was how I was planning to win, I dumped all of my political clout and votes into stopping this. Even though I really would have liked to get the Water Sellers Union back, I couldn't really put any points into that. The extra cash would have been really nice because we have a lot of water. So instead, the Atreides grabbed that out from under me. So I had lost it earlier because a bill passed that removed everyone's charters. And then everyone got the Landsraad Witnesses, so we have some extra Landsraad Guards running around. So yeah, I had to kind of scramble to get as much influence and votes as I could to stop this from going on. So you kind of see I threw 450 votes behind declining it. And that was plenty because people, the other factions apparently didn't want to lose their Chom shares either, which is a bit surprising because I thought they would all vote for it because that's how I was going to win, most likely at this point. Yeah, so it does seem like in this game, hegemony is definitely the easiest way to win, but I built up such a massive economy in this that you're sort of waiting for your authority to build up so you can take over territories to get your hegemony up to win. Or you can just have a massive economy, have lots of spice, sell most of it like I'm doing to get tons of cash, do some research that's going to help you get additional cash and buy Chom shares. And as long as no one else is really going after the Chom shares, you can kind of do it. So the market here, it's gotten a little out of control. So currently prices are pretty high. There's only 29 shares left. So all that really happens here is as soon as I have the 4,000 some odd and buy some shares, I win. So we're going to kind of unpause it. So you can kind of see we're just kind of fighting, killing some stuff here. We're parking on this, going to take this over. And as soon as I get a little over 4,000, we buy some shares and we're done. Shouldn't take too long. Let's see where we're at. 4,112. Things could change. Like Atreides could jump in here and grab some shares, and it's not going to do it. Or the 20 shares won't be enough to kick me over. You can kind of see I've got over double. Thankfully, no one else is really going after buying lots of shares, although Akaz has picked up some. So we're just kind of freely, gunning these guys down as they stand around. Is that enough? That's enough. That's probably it. Oh, it put me to 49 this time. It didn't actually do it. Really? Alright. I'll have to go a little further. How many Chum shares are even left out there? A whole 14. Well, we can buy 5 at a time once we get some extra cash. Just buying 5 is probably enough. So in the meantime, we're just going to be killing stuff. See if anyone else actually tries to stop me. That's sandworm somewhere. Yeah, we're working towards grabbing this. And this is just as more income, more spice, all that kind of stuff. We can stockpile quite a bit, I think. Yeah, up to 6,000 because we have a building in our base. Normally only 3,000, which puts you kind of on the back foot when you're paying out 2,250. But I can stockpile so much that we can just sort of ride it on out. $1,086. Yeah. Just if I can buy 5 shares, that's probably all it's going to take. Oh, look at the entire army over here, just kind of watching their friends get slaughtered. That's interesting. I don't know why they're not doing something. They actually have been really bad about that. We're just, gunning them down. None of these guys can really attack me back. The flamethrowers, I think, can. So we'll just prioritize them for a little bit. Oh, now everyone wants to get involved. Yeah, whatever. Oh, we had an event pop up. A renowned merchant. Build economy buildings or pillage villages to get some extra cash. Yeah, don't really need it. Alright, buying 5 is probably going to do it. There we go. House Harkonnen victory. You are the biggest shareholder of Chom and now control the most powerful institution in the known universe. So we are basically in control of the galactic economy and the galactic spice trade at that point because we control over 50% of the Chom shares. At the start of the game, even as House Carino, who the Emperor's house, has the biggest share at 9%, but they just kind of sold off all their shares. Now, thankfully, Akaz and Atreides spent most of the game fighting each other, and Carino, I think, was also fighting everybody at that point. I was at peace agreement with Akaz, peace agreement with Atreides after a while. Although Akaz did try to assassinate me, they were so far away I didn't really mess with them at all. We just kind of fought House Carino. Let's take a look at the summary here real quick. So yeah, as far as hegemony goes, we were not really ahead for a long time. We were actually behind Akaz for quite a while. Then started pulling ahead a bit recently. For units killed, way more than everybody else. I don't think we lost that many. As far as developments go, we're pretty much right up there. Knowledge, I felt like we did a really good job in this one of staying ahead, but it wasn't actually really until about here that I started to really pull ahead with building up more knowledge. On the economic front, yeah, we're like way on top for Solari production, which is kind of nuts. Solari stock, I mean, we were blowing it as soon as we got it. Chomp shares, yeah, like nobody else could kind of catch up. We started early and just kind of kept pretty steadily progressing through, and it worked out okay. Territory-wise, actually, we ended up ahead of everyone, a bit surprising, honestly. We had all the ally sieges, apparently. Politics-wise, we weren't that great at Landsrod standing or influence production, I don't think. Well, we did end up at the top in influence production. That's interesting. Intel didn't matter that much. Military, we should be pretty high up there. Yeah, I mean, we were pretty dominant for a long time. We were the only one that had a frigate, so that made a big difference as well. If you have a frigate and nobody else does, they're kind of screwed. But yeah, that's going to do it for this run playing as the Harkonnen. I just kind of wanted to do a quick video here to sort of show how things ended up and kind of the weird map that we had there. So yeah, I think I will try out the Fremen next. They're the only other faction I haven't played. I'm not sure if I'll do a video on it. Sort of depends on how interested people are in this series. We'll kind of see how it goes. But yeah, this has been more Dune Spice Wars. I've been DisturbingPuppet. Sorry it's so short on this one. I kind of wanted to get close and then do a video of actually getting to it. But yeah, for whatever reason, when I bought the 20 shares last night, when I was just trying to make some progress, it just instantly knocked me from 48 to 50%, and I was kind of okay, sure. I wasn't really expecting that at all. So if I had done that and I actually had to do a little bit more, it would have been a little bit longer video. But I mean, we did overall pretty well. This is the most progress I've had for the Spacing Guild ever, but that's because of a special area that we had, like territory that was under our control. The economy was just fantastic in this one and worked out really well. Like I said earlier on, you don't have to or want to build too many buildings early on, or really, you might have to build up a military. You have to build up a decent sized military early on, but not like giant. But if you build too many buildings early on, you're actually really hampering yourself in the economy department. You want to focus on getting money. I was working on eventually getting some research that would improve the number of power cells here that I had so I could get some more flyers. The only other place I could do it would be to go way out of my way to grab a territory kind of off all by itself, which wouldn't really work that well for me. But we got a nice Harkonnen victory. I didn't do anything super evil in this. We basically just kind of had a vendetta against House Carino and did a little bit of like oppressing my villages. Not that much. I did some later when I had armies kind of sitting on territories and I was just oppressing for the additional resource collection, so it doubles your resources produced in that territory. But then after like 3 days, it gives you a minus 20% for 7 or 9 days or something. And there's a chance that the guys will rebel. And I was kind of looking at like, well, I mainly need cash. So if they do rebel, we can actually kill the rebels and get some cash. So it kind of works out anyway. But I never actually had a rebellion kick off. Maybe because I had armies sitting on those territories. But yeah, not hugely different from the other houses. So far, I think the smugglers have been the most interesting because they have some unique mechanics. I'm hoping the Fremen have some as well. They're the last faction I haven't messed around with, but we'll see. All right, this has been Dune Spice Wars. I've been DisturbingPuppet. Thanks for coming by. Hopefully, I'll see you next time. Until then, have a good one.